Greetings, Yuba-tubies and Scuba-doobies. Thought I'd get back on here and show you what I've been doing today. And a few days ago, or a year ago, or a month ago, I don't know. Time gets away from me. Whew. So here we go. Hold on to your britches. This is the Lex Luthor that neighbor gave me. Of course, I gave him a pistol so I wouldn't feel so bad. He said he got hot and blowed all the water out of it. Well, I thought very much enough of it to check it, and as far as my checker would do, it didn't have any exhaust pressure getting into the radiator, and none of the fluids are mixing. So, pretty nice darn car for me. It's a 95, of course, so it's old as the hills. And what I did was Lex Luthor was I put an extra fan on it. You might see it down in there. That's where my hands got scribbled up. And I run it in line with the air conditioner compressor because I figured whenever it was on, it would be under the most stress to get hot. And it's got a hydraulic fan on it, cooling fan. That's a first for me. It may be for everybody, but it's first for me. And it's controlled somewhere around here with some kind of a outfit, brain looking thing. And that's perplexing me about what kicks that on and off, but I'm sure it's got a temperature relay or something. Hydraulic running off the darn power steering pump. Who would have thunk it? I'm glad I'm out of this stuff. And the goats have started to crow. Which one of you crowed? Hey! Hey! Okay. So if anybody got any ideas, it don't get hot going down the road with the air on and radio playing. That gone goat. But you let her sit there. I took it to the car wash because it was filthy. And I sprayed it off. And while it was sitting there idling, it got, dang, it got hot. So, and then whenever I revved it up, it cooled down. Sitting still, I revved it up and it cooled down. So, if anybody got any ideas, let me know, please. But it's one of them V6 things, and boy, I'd hate to put head gaskets on it, but I don't know what else to do with it. I've done got it licensed, $36, and I done paid $100 and something, $136. Yeah, $136 for insurance and another some other stuff, and I'll have to pay taxes on my personal property taxes, and everything else is just adding up. And before long, I'm going to have $200 in this thing, and a chicken when I catch it. So if you got any ideas, holler back at me. Thank you. Because the only thing I know to do is make the fans do a little bit more better, and see why the pump is not pumping. I don't know if the fan's working or not. I mean, it turns and goes, but when it's hot, I don't know. I can hear it blowing, but I don't know. It's probably goobered up. But it's no big deal. It's just a car. Lex Luthor. You can't trust him. Okay, now for the dirty, dusty Mustang. If I don't get my portable shed put up, this thing's gonna ruin, dirty as it gets. A new addition to it, you might see there, is power brake booster. So I hauled off, and they want $300 something for a kit to put this on, and of course I didn't have $300. So I remembered the part number, forward part number for the booster. That was the main thing, and I already had bought a master cylinder for a manual, and that's a manual master cylinder I made fit this, and cut the firewall and done the little hoochie things there. I remembered all that stuff, and sorry, and let's see what else. And then you got to change the pedal. Now I remember welding on my pedals and making them fit, but I don't want to do that to this car because Marianne might be driving it. So I bought a pedal for it. The pedals are different. So that was my second major thing. I think it was like $59 or $39, something like that. But I put the pedal in it, and now I've got power brakes. Steers like a log wagon, but it stops good. You can just touch it and it'll go erk. So anyway, that's an addition to this little rascal. And now that I got it nearly finished, I don't drive it. Just like everything else I built. I get done with it. I still got to put some trim on it. And I'm goofing with that just a little bit. And here is the new addition. It's a 1967 Spacemobile. George Jetson used to own it. But it's a 67 Saab. Saab? And I'd already named it Sabrina. Sabrina. But it's baby blue. But I don't know. And there it is. I've done a little welding on the hood here because it was all snapped. Whoop. Let me do that again. Let me get this over here so you can see the loveliness of it. Ooh, there's a wasper. Look at that wasper. There. That'll be enough for you. Take that, you wasper. Didn't sting me, you little rat. How do I want to do this? I need to go back to Steven Spielberg and figure out what he meant by making movies. Okay. Pull her forward. Then you tip it forward. Yay! That was a lot for a little, but at least I smacked that red wasper. These are really strange. I like a challenge. And this is one, by golly. This big thing here is an oil tank. This is a 2-stroke, 3-cylinder, about the size of a lunchbox. And so this oil mixes with the gas. On this one it mixes it in with the engine. Now the older ones mixed in the, you had to mix the gas with oil, like a motorcycle. And it smoked all the way down the road. And this one I'm sure will smoke too. Let's hope so. And it's just full of cool weirdness, strangeness. And Robert on Aging Wheels has got a, that's his YouTube channel is Aging Wheels. He got one of these, and he's motoring around, working around on it. And I thought, that's lovely. So I had to get one. And there it is. Here it is. There you go. It's got 7 moving parts. Doesn't have no valves, intake, exhaust, nothing. I guess the pistons, you can see them in there. The pistons kind of slurp the gas in there. Somehow they slurp the gas. It's got 3 carburetors. It looks pretty cool. Inline, and it just does some weird things. So there it is. This is what I've been trying to break it loose with, because she's stuck, bless her heart. And it's got these weird plugs, weird sparky plugs. A8s. Supposed to be the same as an old knucklehead Harley or something. And I know where one is, but I don't think I'll take the spark plug out of it. I think they got 2 plugs on a knucklehead. Here's the window rolls down caddy cornered like that. And I guess this is a vent thing where you can just ease it down a little bit and still throw your cigarettes out and burn the Swiss Alps with it. The floorboard's gone, but the rockers are good. Ow! The rockers are kind of good, but the floorboard is a little tender. So when and if I get the rest of my stuff done, I'll be in here beating around on it. As it is, I was just in here playing with it one day, and it's got a 4-speed on the column, so you can shift it 4 different times, and if you don't hit reverse, you can still go forward. Reverse is a little bit of a trick. And this is the glove boxy. And of course, I killed 2 brown recluse. I killed 2 bad spiders on this. This is where the radio goes if you got a radio. Sneeze alert. I scared myself. I'm alright. Excuse me. And anyway, if it's got a radio, it goes in there, but you can still work the glove box. Ashtray, a clock, and the temperature says low, normal, and the gas gauge just says tank. So it's a tank. It's got a tank somewhere back there. But what a cute little creature. Bless its little heart. I don't know why I got it. I got it because I seen that other boy on YouTube have one, and he was just having a jolly old time. And after they put a before this one here, I think they had a rope start in here to start that little 3-cylinder, like a lawnmower or something, which would be cool too. But these cars, for some reason, have got a very good legacy on rally racing, which is my favorite kind. Even when I was a little kid, when before NASCAR, before Winston Cup, before the It was NACA or whatever it was. Before all that stuff, I wanted to see cars run through the woods and then slide around on snow and stuff. And that's what these rally cars did. I'm sure they're highly modified because the little 3-cylinder don't put out but a handful of horsepower. I've got a watch that runs faster than this car. So they're just a blast from the past. But like I said, you know, when the world, there you go, thank you, Lisa, can I have some oil? There you go. I don't know if the crankcase has got oil in it or what. I don't know if it runs in oil or how bad they are to freeze and bust. I don't know, not 99 oil. But it's front wheel drive and all that other good stuff. And that's the story of there. This Red Wasper car, which my TR7, going around back behind the building, it's going to be covered up for the duration of the summer, and hopefully I'll have the other two Triumphs done and I can roll this back in there and put it together and run it. This is a fun car. I know they wasn't very popular when they came out, but it's a fun car. I always thought I'd like one of them Pontiac Fiero or whatever they're called. And they quit making them and they're all bunged up now before I could ever got one. I worked on one, had the little Iron Duke 4-cylinder, and they quit making them. And I'm with a whole lot of people. When they quit doing the Pontiacs, they should have quit doing the Chevrolets and just kept making Pontiacs. I mean, they did on the good Oldsmobiles. They kept them and got rid of the Buicks, which is good. But the Pontiac Chevrolet thing, they picked the wrong one there, boys. So anyway, that's just my idea. There's my neighbor's Pontiac. He's got a GTO and then a GTO and then this one. And they all look about the same roughness. You think this is bad, which it is. That's the most rusted car I've ever seen in my life. So, anyway, let's go in here. I fired up today and I found me some really good primer, and I washed this little car down, lightly sanded it with 220 or something like that. Had some numbers on the paper, and I spot primed the places I needed to go over again. So it will probably get maybe one more. It'll get sanded off again in the floor, and then I'll prime it again and sealer it, and this thing will be red the next time I pull the trigger. So I'm not then just laying in bed watching the crows go by and the squirrels. I seen a squirrel, I don't know if I told you this or not. I seen a squirrel big as a, it was huge. I never seen a squirrel that big in my life. It was big as a Cocker Spaniel. And then when I was out here a couple days ago, there's one fell out of that tree and bounced off of the top of this Volkswagen. Kaboom it did, and landed there in the weeds and shook his little tail and left, embarrassed. I talked to my daddy. He says, yeah, squirrels, they'll fall out of a tree. He said, was it windy? I said, yeah, was it windy? He said, no, was it windy? I said, I don't know what the squirrel's name was. And I've been washing around on this. I'm going to sand this back down to the world and recoat it, because I don't like it. What's these things here? Waspers? Yeah, there's waspers there. I'll tell you one thing, boys and girls. When you try to do this out in the air like this, you do one thing and two things get against you. You can lose a crop by just spending time on one end and then going in the house. But I got this straightened out. It was all pushed in. And I straightened it out as much as I could. And it's a double wall looking thing. I still got a gimp, a little tiny gimp right there. And I think there's one in the middle, a little peck to get out. And then I can get around and put me some good stuff on it. So I got the back end started and the front end started, and in the middle I've got some pieces being cut out of a different TR6 to replace the pieces that are rusted. So I won't have to fiberglass. I won't have to fabricate any of this stuff. I can just cut it and cram it in there and weld the far out of it. So that was my plan anyway. If I lose any more time on this, it'll just be ruined or ruined. And we don't want to see ruined. I want to see me grinning and driving it. Here's one of the pieces I got being cut out. And I think he's going to take it from here, see my finger? Back to here, maybe. Across this. And I think on the other side's a little bit caggy too. But for me, that's the best to do. So, I've done some stuff on this one, and it'll be on the way. I'll be watching Aline and Chef Tush, and there's a couple other guys that are doing this stuff really well, showing me what to do. So I thank you for them. My hat's off to y'all. Thank you very much for showing me this stuff. Then I can set it back down on this finished outfit, throw some bolts in it, and grin and go down the road. And I think that's it. I think that's the whole swirl of the new stuff's been going on. Let's see, I done that, I done that, I done that, I done that. So, okay, that's good. I'm going to pull the engine iron out of this truck. And put it in my old gray one when I bought new. Put it in that one. And I'll cut the bed out of it and use it for floorboard. Since it's ribbed, it'll be strong, and they'll put the floorboard in this. It'll have just about the right pattern too. So that's the plan, man. All I need to do is get a little bit more stronger and a little bit more froggy. When I shut this off, I'm going to haul off and pull this one out of the weeds, because this is where my my little old storage thing is going. My little tent revival Mustang shed going right in these woods here. And get the little egg out of there. It needs good wash, which I know how to do. So I guess that's it. You're going to say, yay! Let me see if this will tell. October 17th, 2018. I thought it was 2020, but it's 2018. So let's see if I can turn the viewfinder this way. Buzzard. Buzzard. We got crows that big too. Okay. Y'all know I love you very much. And thank you very much for putting up with me. And who knows what we'll get into next. I've always wanted to build a boat car. Everybody's wanted to build a boat car, I'm sure. But we'll see how much time I got left. And we might build us a boat car someday. Okay. Alright, y'all take care of each other because we're all we got. What is on this? Oh, it's just a thing. Whew. Okay. This is me signing off. And y'all be careful and be careful with each other because some people have tender hearts and you don't want to be sticking a fork in it. Okay. Bye-bye.